The Nissan Nation podcast is a presentation of DRB and KGB Media.
Recorded live, coast to coast, it's the Nissan Nation podcast. From camping, racing, and all points in between. The NNP is your Nissan Nation podcast. Now start your engines and welcome in the hosts, David and Danny.
What is going on, Nissan Nation? Man, we got all kinds of surprises tonight. Danny, how are you doing over there on the West Coast?
Doing good. Trying to stay above water right now. We got dams breaking, infrastructure's falling apart. Got 6 inches of rain coming today, so I'll be sitting in my house collecting as much rainwater as I can for the summer months.
I think that's illegal in your state, isn't it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I'll be damned. So yeah, man, it's like Apocalypse City over there. I mean, everything I know of, it's like you guys want to be your own country, you want to be your own everything, then dams are falling apart, people are rioting. What is going on with California, Danny?
You know what? I don't know, man. I just sit over here, keep stashing my bullets away.
just praying the day.
I'll be all right. I'll keep my rainwater. I got a big pool in the backyard, so I'll live off that.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, tonight we've got a special guest. We got Mr. Bill Eirish. Bill is known for many things. Facebook king. I don't know, man. Bill, how are you doing tonight?
What an intro! What an intro! Of all the things, it's the Facebook king is the first to leave. Well, I like it.
Hell, I can't.
I thought he was going to go with the cripple, but we're going straight to the Facebook king. That's no, I like it.
We'll go for those punches later. No, man, it's like every time between me and Bill, I think we've got Facebook covered, because if I don't like it, Bill's going to like it as soon as I like it, or I like it when he likes it. It's a battle.
If I don't get in the first 3 comments on some type of Frontier or Xterra question, I know that Bill's going to be there.
Damn right. So how is Colorado, Bill, man? What is going on with you?
Colorado is good. The weather's finally warming up. We're trying to get everything complete for goneMOAB, which is good. Nice. And we still have all the NORAC things that we do as well.
Right.
But that doesn't really start till May, June, just because of trails being shut down because of the weather and all that. But
right.
Staying busy, to say the least.
Well, I mean, it's cool. We try to help NORAC what we can. And of course, we do a raffle with you guys every year for a guest spot. Yep. And somehow Bill won it, man. Of course, we would have had you on in the show anyways, Bill. You didn't have to enter,
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny how that one worked out.
I know. It wasn't Kara this year. It was Bill. So
exactly.
We'll have to get What Grinds Bill's Gears episode like we did with Kara.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I think that's a bad choice. That's just not something I want to hear about, how Bill's gears are getting grinded. You know what I'm saying?
I think we'll stay away from that one.
Yeah,
Hey, so real quick, to let our audience in on, because I mean I'm sure a ton of our listeners know who you are, but there's a bunch that aren't. What is your status with NORAC? Explain NORAC to those that may not know, and then what's your status with goneMOAB?
Okay. I am the founding member of NORAC, Nissan Off-Road Association of Colorado. We created it roughly 3-4 years ago. The purpose of what we do is to work directly with the Forest Service to keep trails open, number one, and help them maintain them. We actually have 2.5 adopted trails with them. Last year we did approximately 1,200 man hours of work, and most of that actually occurred over a 2-month period of time. But it's the only way that we can keep trails open. I mean, as we all know, they're unfortunately shutting down on a daily basis.
Right.
As far as NORAC goes, I am the president / CEO / princess.
Well, we'll definitely get into it. We're going to figure out the princess thing here in a little bit. So yeah.
Well, now that everybody knows who you are, we can move forward.
That is right, man. So So let's see. So we've got two big super deals here tonight. So this is going to be fun to wrangle you two in. So Danny, any what's going on with the race truck, man? I know we ask every episode, and usually you say nothing right now, but anything fun happening?
Well, I poured a bunch of money into a pot over there. just recently, I poured a bunch more money in this February. So I'm actually going to head over there on Tuesday, get a look at it. I don't know if there's been a bunch of actual movement on it as far as work's been done, but just because the money wasn't pouring in, he moves on to other projects, and then when the money starts pouring in again, he moves back to my project. So we're hoping that I'm hoping that he'll be able to slide back over onto my project and get some more stuff done. I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll have a good update by next show on what's going on. I've been getting the itch real bad. The Mint 400's coming up in 2.5 weeks, I want to say. So I'm going to be going to that and just kind of meeting up with all the racers in the class. I'm getting to know them pretty well. They're all a really cool bunch of guys. So I'll probably go and maybe pit with one of them, and that's kind of where the whole thing is. Right. Just pouring money into a giant pit of black hole for now is all it seems like.
Well, between that and Xterra Performance and Niztec, man, that probably keeps you pretty busy along with your real job. But any cool thing? I see you tried to post up a video on Facebook today, a live video, and I guess you had a couple drops of wet hit you while you were doing it, man. What's going on with you guys?
That was the precursor for the 6 inches of rain that we're getting tonight. Just doing a quick little tech tip. I figured I was running outside actually because I knew there was a big rain coming, and if you don't, and my roof rack was off the frontier, and I knew that if I had the roof rack off and all that rain hit, it was going to come in those little holes. Yeah. And it'll start ingressing into the cab. So I was out there and I was like, hey, you know what? I know a lot of people ask the questions when they're taking off their roof racks on Xterras and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, maybe throw a little tech tip in here while I'm out here. So the Wi-Fi was a little spotty. I think I got it out. So yeah, if you hit the Niztec Facebook, you can check out that fun little tech tip.
Well, speaking of fun tech tips, let's just jump right into this here, if it loads. As Danny does his little dance over there, here we get the party lights going.
Disco ball flying.
That's right, man. That's right. Any guest that gets to see this, me and Danny like to screw with everybody the best we can, and it's fun when you got colorful lights shining in your face and you're trying to read something. So let's see how long this lasts. But so we got some Nissan news, Danny.
Buddy, we got some good news.
We do got some good news. We got. Praise Jesus, buddy. We got good news everywhere. But so Nissan.
What are we going to start with, David? What are we going to start?
Nissan, of course, we beat the poor Titan to death, man, and we're going to get into that Titan with Bill in just a minute. But they finally come out with their King Cab. Danny, did you get to take any views of that thing?
Yeah, I watched a little video on it. Got a cool bunch of little wing wangs and jib jabs on it. Little features and bennies, if you will. I like the back seat, how it folds up, or if there's the option that's like you can pull it out, or I guess it's the cargo option is what it's. Do you remember what it's called?
The seat delete
I should probably
option.
Pull it up and know the stuff, but seat delete or whatever.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. It looks like it's pretty handy.
Well, so this gives them a little something, and they talked about it in their press release, but this gives them something for like 80% of the truck market now, other than like your 250s and your F350s. They have a truck for everybody, which is different versus that last Titan who, I think it had a King Cab for a little bit, but it was pretty much either a 4-door or nothing in that thing. So finally they actually have a full truck fleet, and I'm thinking the last thing we're going to hear from them is a V6 in this thing, probably sometime late fall. I was surprised, like the King Cab, man. It is basically like a 4-door truck, man. It was a super cab, if anything.
Yeah, I like it. I think the I don't know, the standard cab, whatever that one. I think that's a fairly ugly truck, but
yes, we've
the
killed
King
that
Cab
one.
looks a lot better.
Yeah,
I think it'll sell. I think it'll sell well. I like that they've rounded their whole lineup up. I mean, the standard cab will be a work truck. No, but
yeah,
I think there'll be like maybe 10 of those will sell to people that love the looks. You know, everybody's got their thing, I guess. But that's a work truck. You know, people be throwing racks on it or something, or maybe they'll get some in some kind of fleet with some bed option if they get, you know, some kind of contracts. But so that's kind of my take on it. But I love the look of the King Cab.
Yeah, man, I was surprised because I've, of course, in the past we've talked about me buying one, and instantly I'm like, well, man, that King Cab has plenty of room for what I would ever use that for. So, but Bill over there, Bill, you actually, you got a 2017 Titan?
16.
16? Yours
Yep.
is the 4-door then, right?
Correct, the XD.
Yeah, so you're the diesel, right?
Correct.
What you've only had that thing a couple months now, maybe?
Actually, about just over a couple weeks.
Oh wow! So what you had the previous Titan? So what's kind of A and B the two things for what you noticed?
They're completely different trucks. They're the new XD has got a 6.5-foot bed on it versus the old Titan, as you know, had a 5.5. Mm-hmm. The cab is actually much bigger as well. It's much more user-friendly, in my opinion. The dash is easier. Everything's easier. With me, the reason I got it was simply because of the diesel and the towing back and forth to Moab, Uray, and a bunch of other places that we go. But so far, it's been a great truck. I mean, I haven't had it that long, but I'm averaging 15.8, 15.9 per gallon, which is unbelievable, considering the old Titan used to get 14 on a good day. That was downhill.
The wind pushing you.
But it's good. It's comfortable. They've got I think they call them the zero gravity seats now or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the most comfortable seat. It's like riding in a Cadillac, to be honest with you.
Nice.
It's a really well-built truck. Have nothing but great things to say about it.
Well, other than clearly you can't A/B the engines because, I mean, that's just, diesel in the V8 is just completely different things. But so you feel like they actually took this seriously this time? I mean, I know last time they did, but last time they had this whole video of like, what do you want in a truck? Now this time it's like they seen what GM and Ford and everybody does and says, let's build that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I agree with you in the fact that I think they finally got serious. They built a truck, and in my opinion, it's basically a heavy half is what it is. Mm-hmm. Substantially bigger frame. Brakes are huge on it. But again, they really kind of went into it thinking they did a lot of testing, as you guys both know. And more importantly, it's a comfortable, well-rounded truck. I also drove a Pro 4X, which I thought was a great truck. It just wasn't, for me, it wasn't what I was looking for. Mm-hmm. I didn't need the rear locker. I didn't need a couple of the things that has. Mine was based purely on towing and the fact that it's a DD.
Right. And in a locker, to me, I know there's times when you're trying to pull something out or something that's handy, but ultimately in a full-size truck like that, a locker's almost worthless.
I agree with you, Dave. I don't know that, for me, there was really no reason to have a locker on this truck. Right. It's not going off-road. We're not going four-wheeling with it. Now, if I have to, I will, but that's not the purpose of the truck. So why spend the money?
Right. Yeah. So Danny, why don't you hit Bill up with some questions on that thing? I know you keep looking at me like, well, I want to say something.
No, we're getting some feedback from you, and I think it's finally time that you actually went RoboCop on us, and I'm enjoying the Robo Dave.
Oh no!
It's like sweet revenge, and I'm just sitting back watching it.
But see, here's the cool thing: is when it records to me, I don't get any of that, so people are gonna be like, "What's he talking about?" Well, so Bill, I mean, you like you said, you bought this for towing. Of course, you're in altitude too, which makes it probably a difference with the fuel mileage a little bit. Did it take you any time to get used to going to a different gas instead of gas, going to diesel when at the pump?
Well, yeah, you kind of find yourself pulling up to the wrong side of the pump a couple of times. Kind of the interesting part to me was, the diesel obviously reacts different than a gas motor. There's a little bit of lag to it, which, you got to kind of get used to that. But the interesting part, going wherever you're going, it's just, it goes. There's no lag. There's no, how you kind of get that every, with a gas motor. But all in all, it's been actually really, really good. I wish it had a bigger fuel tank on it.
Oh, really?
Like a 50-gallon. But
what does that have in it right now?
So I think it's 28 or 30. It's one of the two. So it's not as big as you would think.
Yeah. Huh.
That's one of the things I'll look at doing at some point is putting a bigger tank in it, but not anytime soon.
Have you gotten used to putting in the whole clean, whatever the little blue nozzle is?
Oh, with the DEF?
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't had to do any DEF. We use that in what we do for a business anyway.
Right.
So I'm very used to DEF. I don't like it, but unfortunately, if you don't fill up your DEF, you're going to shut down the motor. So there's really not a whole lot of choice.
Yeah. What was it like?
So I have a question, Bill. So if you get run out and you pull over, would you say you were in a DEF jam?
Man, I probably wouldn't have gone that way, but yeah, you'd probably have to call it the DEF Jam. Exactly.
Sounds like you'd get in a DEF Jam. For those listening that don't know what DEF is, it is urea, which is basically diesel exhaust fluid, something that the new Titan or all the new diesels these days, in order to get through emissions laws, they have to add basically fluid to the exhaust, which changes the molecular structure of the exhaust. And this is brought to you by a BMW mechanic that was certified in vehicles.
Oh, poor Danny. So I think 2011 is when just your normal vehicles, they started having to do that. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt. And it's supposed to keep it cleaner, but it's a diesel, man. It does what it does.
Still a freaking diesel.
Well,
It's water vapor. When now you're basically saving the earth now, Bill, with that diesel. You're saving the earth. You're pumping water. You're pumping water out out of your exhaust pipe, and you're saving the universe.
So basically, I have to go get a hybrid sticker now.
Yeah, you're driving a hybrid.
I'm driving a freaking hybrid. And we'll just say, according to Grooters, I drive a hybrid.
Well, it goes with your princess attitude, so I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect for you, sir.
Well, Nissan, they had Mr. Fred Diaz, their kind of vice president and their big truck guy they pulled from Dodge. He did in Chicago at the auto show. He did this what he called a tailgate talk. Danny, did you get to watch any of that at all?
I did not, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was kind of a good little insight into how they're running their program. I mean, it really sounds like they're motivated to take over, or not take over, to make a chunk and kind of make a swath in their area. And then he went on to mention something about they were putting lift kits on them. I mean, they really want to appeal to guys that like trucks and big trucks.
Speaking of that, let's play this.
Some lift kits on our trucks, and we've kind of tricked them out ourselves. And we're working with our teams back at home to see what we can do to actually put these lift kits in our truck during the manufacturing process so that we can bring them to market with lift kits already in them. We're able to do that. We will be the first OEM that's ever been able to bring a lifted kit to the marketplace from the manufacturer.
Which I found that super, super interesting that they're actually looking at doing a production lifted vehicle. I mean, that's unheard of.
That's crazy.
I know they've been working with Icon a lot, and Danny, I think what you guys actually do some stuff with Icon a little bit, or?
Yeah, we sell the Icon kits. We also have a couple of the leveling kits in stock, 2-inch, up front and spacers and stuff like that. So we have a couple kits for the XD, the non-XD, the SchmXD, the 16, the 16 and 17 XD with the non-XDs, gas diesel XDs. But yeah, that's cool that they're offering it as a package. I mean, it's not cool for us because we want to lift all of them.
Well,
but at the same time, it is stepping out. It's not something. I mean, you could say that the Raptor is lifted, but it's kind of like a purpose-built lifted vehicle. I don't know if I'd call it lifted. It just is what it is. So most of the time you see that from dealers,
I found that very interesting that they actually were taking that on as like maybe an option down the road. Of course, it'll be an overpriced option like every other, when you have your local dealership or whoever do something for you like that. But very cool. I mean, Toyota's kind of in the same market with the Titan right now with their percent wise. And you don't these guys are hitting the truck market like full force. You don't see Toyota doing any little, tailgate talks or anything. And my buddies over at the Toyota podcast, Mr. Jason Hoffman, I'm gonna have to give him some shit on this one, man, and say, hey, where's your big Tundra now, buddy? I mean, Nissan's actually talking about lifting them and making them, I don't know if they're gonna go for the official bro stance, but they're they're definitely
I'm sure I won't be happy enough with it because the front will not be higher than the rear. But my thought too is, so they said that they were going to come out with 5 trucks, and they did. 5 trucks being the XD diesel, the gas 4-door, the standard cab, and now the king cab. I think there's one more. That's a Titan.
I'm not. I heard him talk about that, and I never understood where the 5th one was either. It's like the 5th Beetle, man.
Maybe the 5th one is a Frontier. Basically, all I heard after that was like, maybe they're really pushing. Maybe because I imagine that's the final Titan they were going to release. It would make sense that they kind of covered their bases with all 3 Titans to compete in those 3 in that truck market. So I'm really hoping that now that they've done that, the beginning of this year, that the big August reveal or September reveal will be the new Frontier, which I'm really hoping, because my hopes would be to get one of those.
well, Bill, when you were towing, of course, that's what this Titan was really brought to our attention of, like, hey man, we're building a truck to do some towing and stuff. Did you what's kind of your impressions of towing with it, especially versus, since I know you've towed with that previous Titan?
It was substantially easier. Again, it's a longer wheelbase, foot longer on the bed. Overall length is, I can't remember the difference there. So it was much more stable. The power with the diesel was it was crazy. It was literally like nothing back there on the trailer, which was really nice, and I mean, the fuel economy was still very good as well. I mean, it was a bone stock Xterra that we were towing, but it's still, you're towing some substantial weight, as we all know. It was easy. That's what I liked about it.
So have you got to do anything?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Dave.
Have you got to do anything through the passes yet over that way then, towing wise, or
not yet? I'll be doing that in a couple of weeks.
Okay. So I mean that's really I think where you're going to really see the benefit of that truck.
Yep.
I know the guys.
Plus, it's got the it's got the manual shift. It's got the manual shift mode on the gear shifter.
Yeah.
So that'll make it a lot easier coming down the passes, like you're saying. I mean, just. I had an old GMC that had that, and that was a lifesaver when you got a trailer behind you coming down an 8-degree incline.
Right, and I know there's a YouTube show that I like to watch called the Fast Lane Truck, man, and they do a lot of testing over there. They're in your area somewhere, and they love going up and down those passes when they're testing out these vehicles. And I think that the Titan still is probably their favorite vehicle they've had to, for the size of it, not being a big 350, but that. We're going to want to talk to you down the road once you do a little towing with that thing there, man, because I'm super interested in that. I mean, we don't have the elevation you do, and I know Danny doesn't either, but super cool. I can't wait to see your Frontier with it. We'll get into a little bit about that. But a little more news that we got from Chicago. Danny, Nissan is coming out with what did they call that? The Midnight Edition on everything now, man. I think the whole Rogue thing they did where they blacked out the Rogue or whatever kind of was like, oh, well, hey, let's just do this with every car we have now. So did you see any of these, man? I know they're doing it with like the Murano and Sentra and all that.
Yeah, I saw that they called them blacked out. I call it murdered out, son, because that's what we do in California. We call it murdered out. But yeah, I think they look good. I love when you get it all blacked out. Black grills and fascias and
the floor mats and everything,
etc. Yeah,
I especially like when they do the floor mats, man, because that's
No, I think the Maxima looked amazing, all blacked out. I was privy to those the look of those cars. I was into it.
Yeah, man, I dig it. Of course, I'm sure it's some other $2,500 option just to have something. I like Plasti Dip, man. So if I want to black something out, spray it, done, moving on. But they also they had a press release come out this past week or two that and you're gonna like this, Danny. Nissan and BMW partnered up for something.
Yeah, except it's electric.
Yeah.
Like I saw that, I was like, Nissan BMW partner. I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then it was like, they're gonna share charging stations or something. I'm like, oh man.
Well, I mean, that's the weird thing with all these electric cars and stuff, that somebody had to build an infrastructure to charge these vehicles. And I know Tesla was real big about, like on 40, I think they have big stops everywhere for 40 and your main routes everywhere. But
yeah, they got them all over here, everywhere. And I mean, you see Teslas everywhere around here.
Yeah, Speaking of that, I got on Craigslist the other day. I was like, I wonder what those things are going for used. 80,000 still. I'm like, screw that. Mm-hmm. And when you can get a Leaf for like $5,000 used, that's something you need to look at, Danny. See what used Leafs are going for over there.
Have you rode in Tesla, Dave?
Well, no, I know what you're paying for. I'm just saying, when you consider that battery is half the price of the vehicle, and you may need to replace that every so often. That's
I think that you need to go riding one, Dave, and make them stomp on it and go around a corner, and then you'd be like, "Oh, that's what you get for 80,000." Then you'll know, because my good buddy has one, and I rode it in, and it was mind blowing. I got to drive it. That car is mind blowing. Plus, 80,000. If you think about it, you spend probably $20,000 on gas every year anyway, so it's like a 60,000.
Dude, I got no solar. I got no solar panels in my backyard, man. Come on now. I got to pay electric.
We got solar panels all day over here, so free.
No, I definitely respect the Tesla. I'm just saying, I read an article where it was talking about what used Leafs and stuff go for like that, and I was like, oh, no way, man. This article was like, oh, you can pick one up for $4,000, like a 2013 Leaf, and I was like, what? And sure enough, man, my Craigslist ads everywhere for like $4,000, $6,000 for a brand new Leaf, and I was like, you got to be crapping me, man. But the problem is the batteries, 3 years, they're starting to trickle down, and they're
done, good. And they're expensive.
Yeah,
they ain't cheap.
We need to talk to old Joey, man. See how he's liking his. Of course, I think he leased his. So.
He's like leasing it. He'd just give it back when the battery blows up.
Here, I don't need this.
takes his tax return and run.
Yeah, no
Here's
kidding.
your Leaf back. Thanks for the tax return. Peace.
Hey, what was the phone that Samsung had that was blowing up?
The Note 2, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you see the article the other day where their battery actually exploded, or the plan actually exploded where they make those batteries?
It's so awesome.
That is super awesome, man. And that's just like my random tangent of the night, man. But yeah, I was looking for articles through for Nissan, and I was like, that somehow Samsung batteries popped in there. I was like, what the hell is this, man? They can't even keep their own factory going without it blowing up. Wow.
Hey, Dave, I'd like to take this time in the show to I know it's not Valentine's Day anymore, but I feel like it's time for me to give you my Valentine's. So
this is a great segue,
for those
Danny.
that don't have smell-o-vision or look-o-vision right now, and they're just listening, I just showed Dave his Valentine, which is a nice little card of Minnie and Mickey kissing, and it says how sweet it is. So I just want all the listeners to know that I gave Dave that cute little Valentine.
That's super appropriate. And that was my next topic, Danny, and Bill may be able to help us out with this. And 2 years ago, man, when we started this, we started the show in January, but it was 1st of February, right when that damn 50 Shades of Grey came out, and I give a blistering review on that thing, man, for one of our first movie reviews. And I see part 2 is out, man, and my wife was all excited. She's like, I want to go see that. And I got friends that want to go see it, and I was like, hey, I'm not taking one for the team this time, man. So
yeah, all your friends go see it. I'll be over here.
Yeah, I've got an internet if I want to see all those types of things. But so Danny, are those movies like? I have no desire to see this for one thing, but is that something over on the West Coast that people are freaking out about?
I didn't even know it was coming out until you messaged me, which I thought was weird that I found out in that way.
With my GIMP mask on? You thought that was weird?
I think my wife went and watched it with her friend on the first one. I don't remember. But I won't watch it. I won't see it. I won't see 1. I won't see 2. I'd rather shove a fork in my nostril and ream it out than go and watch that business.
Bill, are you hampered with any of these non-manly things?
No,
I ain't going to see the damn movie.
That sounds like a movie review. Bill's movie reviews.
Exactly.
Oh, hell, they're just whipping each other. It's all right.
Exactly. Woohoo!
I can only see one good outcome from that movie.
What is that outcome, Danny? Because you went real quiet.
I'm throwing it out. I'm just throwing it out. That's all. There's only one good outcome from that movie.
Well, speaking of good outcomes, man, so let's see. I've known Bill for, I think 3 years personally now from my first trips out to Moab. And over that time, Moab's changed hands a couple times. And each year it was a little different. It was kind of a letdown a couple times that I've been out there, only to the fact that there was so much hype. And for years you go and you see all these amazing pictures of Moab and stuff. And of course Danny's been out there and Bill lives in it. But we were excited to hear that it was under kind of new leadership this year, man. And we introduced Bill as part of NORAC and all that, but Bill right now is the king, I think, of Moab, man. You are a promoting machine with this thing. It's we were discussing before we got on the show some of your numbers for it, which was great, man. Somehow tell us how you brought the excitement back to Moab, Bill.
Well, first off, thank you. I think really what it came down to, Dave, and I know Danny can relate to this probably even better than you because he's been going longer than both of us, but somewhere along the way, they forgot what this event is about. And the event very simply is about, you got to be kidding me.
It's about you got to be kidding me.
That was your daily derailment right there. Bill was getting real deep right now, and Dave just derailed him with a bobblehead.
Oh man,
sorry, Bill.
Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
But what the event is supposed to be about is it's friends getting together and enjoying wheeling and having a great time, and the end goal is to donate money to various charities. Period. Mm-hmm. And all I'm doing is trying to make it fun again, because I look at it completely different than anybody previous has, and that's nothing against what they've done. It's just I do things completely different.
Right.
It's not about me. It's not about the organizers. It's about the people that take time to come out of their busy schedule of their lives and travel a very long distance to come to this event for a week. And I'm going to make damn good and sure they have a good time. Right. That's what it's about.
Well, I mean, I noticed more than the past few years. Of course, it used to be the only way to promote this thing was either by the website or trying to get people in forums and stuff. And Facebook's kind of brought everybody together with this. Mm-hmm. But even at that, the past couple of years, I haven't seen the excitement that I'm seeing this year. And of course, it could be just like you're a big personality. People are drawn to that a little bit. And when you mention it, I think people, that's a little more exciting versus some of the people that's had it in the past. And that's no, slam to those that's had it in the past, because like you were saying, everybody has their own way of doing things. And what,
we're going robo, Dave.
Oh no!
Sorry, we lost you there for a second.
but the way you were approaching it this year, man, it just seems like you guys are going to have a home run of an event, man.
Well, again, thank you, and that's what we're trying to do. Again, I'm just going back to very simple basics. Gone is an amazing event. We all have a great time, and we have great people involved. And to me, it's some of my dearest friends in the world are actually people I've met at Gone. It's
Thanks,
about
Bill, and you're my dearest friend too, Bill.
Well, now that we get to that point, Danny, you weren't supposed to tell anybody.
Now the dark side.
It's just simply about a bigger thing, and we all have a great time, and we need to get like you said, we're putting the fun back in it. It's, I've been busting Danny's chops now for about 4 months about the fact that he still hasn't got the Princess title, although he can get the Cinderella title this year.
I wanted to talk to you about that. Because
well, explain
okay.
before. Hold on, Danny. Before you get into that, the whole Princess thing, for people that may not know, I think I was there for year one of how you got that, but kind of go into it because Moab has little special awards y'all do.
Yeah. So basically, the Princess title happened. I think originally happened in 11 or 12, if I remember right, and it all happened because the person that got it the first time had scratched some sliders and kind of freaked out about it. The year I got it, which was 12 or 13.
13, I remember. Yeah, 13 you got 13.
It. Happened because I was in high-end transportation for years, so I always had to have a clean car, okay? And that kind of rubbed off. Well, I'd get done with the run and go spray the car down, spray the X down at the car wash. No big deal. That's what I always do. Well, that's kind of how it all happened. And so, they're making the announcement and they go, okay, the Princess Award goes to Bill Eirish. And I'm like, yes! And the whole place is silent.
I was there. I remember this.
Oh, my God. I mean, the whole place is silent. And I'm like, I'm having a good time with it. So I look at it this way. I earned it. I just decided that since I won it, I was going to take it to an entirely different level. And that's how it all kind of got to where it is. And Gruters is still upset with the fact that he didn't get the title last year the year before.
He got Best Swimming Pool Award last year.
He got the which one?
The Swimming Pool Award last year.
Yeah, that was priceless, by the way. That was freaking good. I got to admit, that was good.
There should be like a prank master award because, like, I'm telling you, I'm sure you have things up your sleeve. I'm just telling you this. You don't have to respond. Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine the quirks that are going to be popping out here and there. But I think the Prank Master would be a fantastic award, just because that's one of the embodiments of Moab. That's what the original Kevin and those characters brought to Moab. Part of it is pranking each other. It's become a thing now. Like, who can out prank another? And it's really some of the best. The best, well thought out and good pranks. Nobody's getting like destroyed. Like, hey, I shot you in the face, prank you. They
call that the Dick Cheney Award, buddy.
Yeah.
I still think the saran wrap around my entire vehicle with the beer cans and the doors ranks right up there.
Yeah.
And the best part is I actually called them the next morning. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, it wasn't me. Nope, wasn't me. And I'm like, yeah, hey, by the way, I heard you. It's by my window. Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bill.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yep.
Well, it's funny.
I don't remember seeing that. I don't remember seeing that. It was too dark out.
What's funny is about these pranks, man. It's bled into, like, people actually hide their vehicles now. It's getting to where
they're parking in the garage, locking cars. Oh man.
Oh God.
But in truth, I would say for the Princess Award, I don't know. It's become a thing with Bill. It's transitioned from the cleanest car to, I almost feel like Bill could never lose the Princess Award because he is the king princess. Like, in all intents and purposes.
Right. Yeah, no, and I do agree with you. I am the princess. It's amazing how many people know me as the princess.
I wouldn't feel right taking the award if someone was like, you won the Princess Award. I'd be like, well, can I just win the Clean Truck Award because Bill's the princess?
Well, I think that's why we got to take it to Cinderella status.
I think so.
It's a Cinderella story.
We got to kind of retire Princess. We're going with Cinderella. Yeah. It still works. Yeah. I'll still meet you at the car wash.
Roger that. I don't know, man. After that last run I was on, it's gonna take a lot to get me back. My truck has been pinstriped so hard, dude. I'm literally like buffing it. Like after the rains, I'm gonna take a buffer to it for like probably like 6 hours because that's the only way. It's you would cry if you saw my truck right now. You would shed a tear. I swear to you, because I did. I shed tears when I got home.
That much bumper brush.
Dude, I already took a compound to it, and it barely even took anything out. So it's gonna take like professional help to get it back to
the good news is you've got roughly 93 days at this point. Gone. Okay, so you have time.
I do.
Again, just remember the basic requirements for Princess status / Cinderella now. You have to go to the car wash, as always, when we get to Moab. Remember, that rule.
I know.
And then
I got to show up. Right?
Okay? And you have to have somebody get pictures to prove you were there.
Nice. Don't worry, Bill. I'll be taking selfies and posting it on your Facebook every single day. You know that, and I'm sure it'll be right below your selfie on the goneMOAB page every single day.
Well, somebody's got to keep the running, unbiased tally of who's winning.
No, I get it.
Man,
I will say that I think one of the reasons that goneMOAB is so big this year is attributed to Facebook, and I think the last couple of years, I mean, as long as I can remember, I wasn't in charge of marketing for it, but I would constantly tell whoever was running the Facebook page, you guys got to push this on Facebook, because Facebook is so huge now. It's 70 to 80% of the people that you're trying to reach are on Facebook, and there's no two ways about it. So to see daily posts about different sponsors, people's builds, what's going on, how many people are going, just to show how many. Every year I'd ask the how many people are going. It was like as a secret. I'm like, what? Just tell me how many people are going. What's the big deal, And so just to know that it's going to be so huge and it's going to be so cool, and knowing that you have so many more trails open, and some of the people that I haven't seen in years are going to be back this year, which is super cool. So I think it's going to be a really, really great year. I'm really looking forward to it this year. Luckily, I'm leaving slightly early from my family reunion in Iowa, so I'll be able to drive my truck there. I was a little scared that I wasn't going to be able to drive my truck, and I was looking at all kinds of different ways to fly out and then have somebody drive my truck. I was getting real intricate with my itineraries, but luckily things are wrapping up, so I should be able to just come out and like regular. And I'm not leading any. I'm not leading any trails, right, Bill?
No, not at this point.
I'm not leading any trails. So I think this year I'm going to try it, because last year it was almost like work for me. I mean, I had a blast, but every night I was walking into my bed at like 1:00.
Dude,
and it wasn't because I was partying necessarily. It was that I got back at like 9, and then I drank a beer for a couple hours and then went to bed. But so this year I'm really looking forward to. I really want to experience it just like I did in 2009 when I first went. Go. Yeah. Just meet all the people, hit the trails, get back, have some beers, and relax and enjoy. And that's what I'm really looking forward to this year. I mean, Sonny's coming this year. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, and
yeah, it's going to be good to see him. Unfortunately, PJ's not going to be able to make it with the new job and all.
That's okay. I'm happy that he got that new job. But either way, so many good people are going to be out there again.
Yeah, it's going to be good, and it's like you said, it's going to be great to see some of the people that haven't been in such a long time as well. We've got just a ton of new people this year, which is fantastic. And we got some really cool stuff that's going to be happening as well. Meet and greet's going to be done totally different. Raffles done totally different.
Kind of fill us in a little bit on some of the cool changes, if you can talk about any of those.
I have no issues with it. Big changes on the meet and greet are going to be literally how it's laid out, how everybody's brought in. We're going to get the registrations done. Everybody's going to meet their trail leaders for the first, for the following day. We're going to have a big dinner, intermingle, really kind of focus on what the event is about of, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Right.
That's the big thing to me. Raffle is going to be done in a completely different way, because we're actually going to do a normal raffle, but we're also doing a silent auction as well.
Cool.
You know, what people forget about is, again, this is about, we're trying to generate money for different charities. We're donating to the MOAB SAR unit. We're donating to the MOAB Humane Society. We're donating to Stay the Trail. We're donating to Blue Ribbon Coalition, Utah
Awesome.
4x4 Association, you know, just a bunch of different things in order to make a difference. You know, we're so damn lucky to be able to do what we do and to spend this time out there. You got to be able to give back to the various organizations is the way I see it.
Sure.
It's going to be a great time. And, you know, we're doing several different dinners, and of course we've got, you know, Zach's Pizza Night as always because of Boulder Nissan and Nissan America, which is huge. We have Zach's, you know, or again, that's Zach's is on Monday. The meet and greet is on Sunday. We're going to do dinner on that. The raffle is going to be done at a different location. And we have dinner going on that night. We have the world's most disorganized barbecue as always. Although it's getting slightly organized, but just don't tell Reese. He hasn't quite figured that out.
He's not organizing. Other people are.
He's fighting me tooth and nail on it, but that's okay.
Which is funny because that thing started at his campsite just by chance.
Yeah.
He was cooking many years ago, and it just sort of grew out of that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we're going to have like 150 people at it this year, so it ought to be freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a great time with great friends, and that's, to me, what this whole thing is about. I'm just happy that we were able to just take it and run and take it to the level that it's at now.
Cool.
We have amazing sponsors. So,
well, who are a few of your sponsors you got going on?
Oh God, you want me to start at the short list or the long list or the list them all?
Well, however you want to. You know, I mean, this is we try to keep this around an hour, Bill. So
Platinum sponsors, maybe.
Yeah, well, do you know any of those, Danny? Obviously, probably one of the biggest sponsors that we have is, in the longest running, is we have Boulder Nissan, we have Niztec, Xterra Performance, Rugged Rocks, Fat Bob's Garage, Insane Fab, CVT, Hefty Fab Works, Off-Road Gorilla, Oz 4-Wheel Drive, which is a new one, Max Gear, who we all know and love, 511 Tactical, Graveyard Graphics, Lifestyle Off-Road, Venture Tool Company, CJD, Engo Winch is a new one this year, Heps Design, Viar Corp is back, Power Tank is back, Max Trax is there, Bubba Rope, Trasharoo, Outer Limit Supply, Rock Auto, and if I missed anybody, I'm truly sorry.
Well, I'm pretty sure most of those big time sponsors listen to the podcast, Bill, so they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and White Knuckle just came aboard again too.
Yeah,
so
I saw that. That's cool.
That actually happened yesterday. So
nice.
You know, again, we're just thankful for what we've got. You know, and one of the things is all the time talking to Danny and David. You and I have discussed many things, as you know, and talking to Boulder Nissan, talking to Chris with with Niztec as well, and just having these conversations of what's good, what's not good. You know, you've all been there. What do we need to do different? And I just ran with it from there. I think that's the best way to put it.
Well, I mean, you're definitely doing a home run job. And who are some of the people? Give a shout out to some of the people that are kind of helping you organize this a little bit, because I know you've got a good solid group of people. Yeah.
So Dave Lyons he's the vice president. Terry Lindgren, aka Old Man, is our CIO. We wouldn't even be this far without him, and I can't say enough good things about Terry Lindgren and what he's done for this event. Greg Septon has been helping us as well. Ron Reese does this, he's our kind of sales and marketing / I wear a kilt guy. I have tried to implement a no kilt ban, and I keep getting overruled by everybody else. So sorry in advance.
I would jump on that train since I'm having the wife make a action suit kilt. So.
Oh, great. Obviously, Kelly has been a huge part of this. Ron's girlfriend, Beth, has been a help. Vicky Lindgren, she puts up with Terry, which that's keeps us
big
all.
help. That's big help.
It's huge. It's huge. But I mean, that in a nutshell, that's the whole group. So I'm very thankful to have them aboard. I actually called them and said, "Hey guys, here's what we're doing." They said yes. So life is good.
Well, nice, man. Well, Moab wouldn't be a Moab without the Irish getting a new vehicle. It seems like, man. Every year,
this is true.
Every year, it seems like kind of. What's Bill bringing to the event this year? So,
Bill's Frontier. Yeah, we had 2.0 last year.
Yeah, which was what an Xterra on 37s, right?
That was an Xterra on 37s,
which is like
it's
ridiculous.
No longer on 37s, but it was on 37s then.
Hey. It did it once. That's all that matters.
Exactly. It did it. It was fun. So we've got 2010 Frontier that I built. Drop rack Titan swap, sitting on 35s. We've got hefty aluminum, so I could be like Mr. Gruder's, except for it's not color matched to the truck. We have aluminum skids, hefty sliders, bumpers getting worked on now. Got a custom bed rack being done. So it's good. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Man. What made you kind of go from Xterra to truck this time?
I've always been curious about the Frontier, and I've always liked the body style of the Frontier. Mm-hmm. After wheeling with many Frontiers over the last few years and watching some of the things that they could do versus the Xterra was struggling with them, that was really kind of the push for me.
Right.
I like that longer wheelbase. It definitely feels more solid.
It's amazing what that longer, because of course I'm with you. I've got both, and it is amazing. Like sometimes that short wheelbase is great, but then there's some climbs where you're just like, it's so much better.
I want to say I wish you took it out to Moab as slightly modified and then put it on 35s so you could appreciate your 35s, because let me tell you, when I took it out there with the Mark 84s with the basically a stock 2.5 inches of lift and skids and sliders and took it around Flatiron Mesa
and dragging your butt,
my teeth hurt when I was done with that trail. I actually called it off for the rest of the week for the last day of wheeling and went with somebody else because I was bouncing off everything, and it was so nice to go back, Titan swapped, and go do all those trails. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy all that bracket lift in the 35s because.
Life is good. So we'll be back out there in March. I got to finish up some some of the legal paperwork, fun stuff, and there's probably a good chance I'm staying for like an extra 3 days to get some wheeling in.
Nice. Recon. They call that recon.
Well, yeah, it's definitely recon. It's definitely recon. So I got a couple trails I need to go hit and have some fun. So
nice.
That'll be good. With Moab being so close to you, I mean, I say it's close, but it's 5 hours away, which
about 6.5.
So I mean, but that seems from a little I know of Colorado, it just seems like everybody's used to traveling everywhere. Like if you're an hour, very that's true. Close. So with Moab so close to you, man. How often do you get to go play out there a little? I mean, without being an organized event.
3 to 4 trips a year.
Yeah, and out of those, kind of, what's the trail that you like the most, and what's the trail that you kind of hate the most?
Go ahead, Gruders. You can answer this one.
No, this was
Hales, man. Hales. I don't know if it's your favorite now, but it seems like Bill. If you haven't been on Hales with Bill, it's almost like you've never been to Moab. Which, let me say, that I was lucky enough to go on like a Saturday. Else, it's like basically you're getting on a trail, like you're getting on Hales with like 400 people because Bill leading Hales is like, let's just go hit Hales. Hales is a gnarly trail, but if you run it with somebody who knows about it, who knows where to spot and stuff, it's a fairly easy trail where you can, I mean, there's scary spots, but you know, you take a good line, you can get through it without a locker, really. You know, there's spots where you can make someone get into you know, fun areas where as long as you're watching your spotter, you're good, you know. But I think that's why it's such a great trail, is if you have a great trail leader on that trail, you could do stuff that you would never want to do if it was just you and your buddy.
I agree.
You know, so it's such a great trail. And like I said, I don't know if that's your favorite trail, because now, I mean, you've probably hit so many more trails out there, and I love Hells, but now that I've been on so many more, I haven't hit everything yet, and it's like I almost want to reserve my decision until I hit every single trail out there that I can.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I do love Hells, and Hells and I have a love-hate relationship. But Steel Bender is one of those trails that I just love to do. Backwards Bill is another one. If you haven't done Backwards Bill, that's a trail you got to do at some point.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Flatirons Mesa. There's nothing like playing on the waterfall and just having a great time going up and down chutes and tilt-a-whirl. And, you know, there's just so many good iconic trails out there. But I think probably my tops are Steel Bender, Hells. It's hard to pass up Fins, though, Danny. You know that. I mean, Fins is freaking awesome, especially when you're talking about 450 around it.
Yeah. Fins is so iconic, and me and Chris ran it just for fun. Were you there last year when we ran it? No. We were talking about you because we were tightening our U-bolts.
Yeah.
But we ran it, and I'm telling you, we were driving up, and it was in the evening. We did half of it just in one evening when we first got there. And the clouds were kind of coming over, you know, like the silver line clouds, and we were cruising through Fins. The sun was kind of getting closer to setting, and it's like the picturesque trail that you expect to drive. You know, you see it in all the pictures, and that's one of the reasons why it's so cool, because you're literally just driving on Fins, you know, big rock Fins, and there's just cool, really fun little obstacles. So yeah, you're right, and I always say, Fins is good for the beginner. Hells is like Fins on steroids, right?
Yep.
I mean,
I agree.
That's kind of how it goes.
Well,
I totally agree.
So if those are your favorites, what are the trails out there that if somebody's like, "Hey, Bill, come with me," and you're just like, "Oh man, not that." What's a couple trails and they're not bad trails. It's just like you're just like, really?
Well, that's easy. You know, the trifecta, it's a great trail. But the longest day of my entire four-wheeling career on a trail was that one. Now, it's one of those I wouldn't have wanted to be any other people than the five of us that were actually there. It made it bearable. We got through it. It was a hell of a long night. Danny can attest to it. As we're sitting up above double whammy, watching the headlights come across the freaking desert in a freaking torrential downpour. You see the light, you don't see the lights. You see the lights, you don't see the lights. You're like, for the love of God, would you just freaking get here? And then on the other side of me to the right, I see Meisner's headlights, you know, sitting on the drop over there, and he can't go anywhere because if he does, we're not getting back up. So, you know, that's one of those trails that it ranks right up there as, oh God, I don't want to do it, but I will. I think the trail that I probably honestly dislike the most is, man, it's probably that one.
Yeah. Well,
it's like I said, it's a great trail. It just is a long day.
It's a beater trail, and it's a really long trail. The thing is if you were to just run it and have not a single problem, it would be a rad trail, especially when you're done.
Totally. You know,
when you get done, adrenaline rush. Can't believe we did that. And I want to run it to conquer it. It's a conquer trail. It's not like oh, this is the most beautiful thing. This is super fun. Yeah. It's a heart pounding, like, holy shit, every time you turn around there's another obstacle. And I've only seen the whole thing at night. I've never done the trail. I've never driven the trail, and I've been up Poison Spider Mesa, but I haven't done the rest of it. So I went up Poison Spider with Joey, and I didn't know what was on from there. I thought it was just a little extra from Poison Spider. Come to find out, it's basically like 2 days more worth of trails in one,
exactly.
one night. So, but yeah, it is. It's a teeth gritting, beat you up. It's a battle trail, and so that's what it is. You know, if you want to do that, then it's an accomplishment, and it's a trail to conquer for sure.
It's one complete drive line and 6 half shafts.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a day.
And it made for a hell of a story too. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, the sad part is it's all true.
Yeah. well.
If you want, hold on, Dave. If you want to know all about the trail that we're talking about and get a full recap of what we're talking about, go check out the goneMOAB, the first goneMOAB episode that we did on the Nissan Nation podcast. It's
episode 7 or 8, I think.
Amazing stories of that trip and many others. But it's one of the best episodes that we've done, I think.
Well,
it was good.
What leads me to ask about all these trails is last year, Bill. And I'm not gonna beat you up over this one, but so there was an accident last year, right?
The trail did that, so we don't need to.
Top of the world reverse.
Right. So just to kind of as we talk about everybody having a fun time out there, at Moab and stuff, but I want to get to the point of there is serious things that can happen out there, and
I agree.
And I hate to say it's a good thing that it happened to an event leader or the guy that was taking the event over, but it really shed some light because I think it's probably the first major accident goneMOAB probably had of this nature, right? Yep. And kind of talk us through a little bit about kind of what happened.
So we were doing top of the world reverse. I was leading the trail. We had about halfway up. When you come up to the lollipop, you hang a left. When you're doing it in reverse, it's the more difficult route. Got everybody through the first section. We're coming up one of the stairs, and Will Alexander snapped the half shaft. So to keep the group going, I sent the group up. I kept 5 rigs back. We got him fixed to get him back on the road. So as we get him back on the road. We're probably 35 minutes behind. Then we come up to what is known as the upper staircase, which is just a giant rock garden, and it's a series of you go left, and then you go center, then you go right, then you go back to center, then you go back to left, and you're just weaving your way through it. So I'm up bringing the rigs up. I got through it first, brought up another rig, and I'm standing on I call it a rock, but it was a boulder, and the boulder decided to break is the easiest way to describe it. I slid down about 10 to 15 feet, landed into another boulder. My ankle rolled up and in, and all I heard was snap, crackle, pop, bang. Got up, tried to put my foot down. That lasted for exactly about nothing. Went back down. Kind of hobbled my way up to the truck, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Nope." So I drove to the top. Kelly was not happy about that, by the way. And she got on the radio, let everybody know what's going on, and got up to the top. They looked at it, got me wrapped up as good as they can. We made it down in an hour flat, which is unheard of.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I've been down that trail so many times, and it's always a long day trail, but that's good. Yeah. That's moving, dude. I didn't realize that.
We got down, the guys got out of the truck, got us aired up, and then we hauled ass. I started passing out. I was pretty much out at that point, but
yeah, because you ended up doing severe damage, right?
Oh yeah, I mangled it. It was I tore every ligament in the foot, every ligament in the ankle, with the exception of the Achilles tendon. 2 fractures in the talus bone that were almost all the way through. Ended up being pretty much in an air cast, non-weight bearing at all for 3.5 months.
Wow. Yeah, and
it was
know
another 3 months after that.
I know
when Justin Lilly.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, right?
I know when we rolled up to your condo, like you were just, dude. I mean, you were trying to be hospitable and just the normal Bill, and you could just see it in your face.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, I just don't want to be here.
Yeah, I barely saw you that whole Moab, to tell you the truth, because I went over right when you got there. I saw you, and then I think we went on a trail, and it was like, Bill's dead, basically. I was like, wow, all right. Way to ruin everything.
You way to go.
I know, and I did, and I feel bad for
the
Well, since, like I said, since it happened to a guy that was going to take this, well, I don't know at the time, but it was taking this over now. How has that changed the focus of maybe your trail leaders being prepared, or has that shed any kind of light on safety?
Yeah, actually, it's actually changed quite a bit. I actually hand-selected every trailer we've got. Every trailer was picked for very specific reasons, whether they know the trails or they're great at what they do, and we don't have to worry about the fact that they're going to make sure everybody gets off the trail safely. That's to me the biggest thing. We don't need to take unnecessary risks. Mine was a freak accident, honestly.
Sure.
Hindsight being 2020, from the time it happened till the time I got down to Moab, it was probably close to 2.5, 3 hours. Mm-hmm. I'm just a stubborn SOB, and they weren't calling anybody in to help me or fly me out. That wasn't happening. That's not, but whatever. But we're doing some training this year. We've got a training program that we're actually starting with all the trail leaders from this point forward. We'll be looking at some other things as we go down the road. We have a lot of people that are, first aid certified or paramedics or all this that are part of this now. Mm-hmm. So I want to basically really get everybody on board. And honestly, what saved my butt, to be honest with you, is Dave Lyon's son happens to be a sports medicine guy. Mm-hmm. That's what his degree is in. And he looked at it and went, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. But, again, we will be doing a lot more down the road as far as training and what we need and what we expect. And, we've all talked about it. We've all laughed about it. Moab is an equalizer. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how bad you are. It doesn't matter how big your rig is. If you make a mistake, you will pay.
Right. And that's ultimately what, people need to understand. I mean, you can take a bone stock vehicle out there, and I've seen a lot of questions that you're getting this year, which is really I love, because I love helping the first time guys. But it's Moab, man, and there's a reason there's not a super city there. It's unforgiving territory. There's things that would like to bite you every once in a while. There's rocks that would like to bite you.
So amazing. They move.
yeah, definitely. And I know with the event I put on, I have people that I know who are medical people, kind of like what you're talking about. And it's like, you definitely got to be prepared. And I'm super happy to see that, because I know my impression of some of the people who might have been in charge of things, and I'm not saying actually in charge of Moab, but maybe trail leading and stuff. Sometimes you're just like, man, I feel like I'm putting my hands in somebody's life. So, man, to hear that you guys are out there really pursuing safety now, man, my hat's off to you, man, because that means a lot. And I think what that means in the end is more people are going to want to come, because they're going to hear this year, man, these guys were on top of everything. They were, somebody might have got hurt, say, and they were on top of it. And I felt like the people I went to go off-road with, be whatever brand you go with, that they cared, And so, and that's ultimately, I mean, anybody can put a car event together, but it's people that care, and love what they're doing, and that shows, man. So
well, I for me, I don't want anybody to ever go through with what I did.
Right.
That's it. It's how you handle things and how you move forward and what you do. And, like you said, anybody can put on a car event. It's what's the basis, what's the foundation, how do we move forward, how do we make it bigger, how do we make it better? Right. But more importantly, how do we have fun?
Yeah.
That's right, man.
And you know what? I know personally, almost everything. I don't know. I haven't seen a list of trailers, but most of the trailers I would say I know personally and have been on trails with them. And you know, as someone that's led trails and have been on trails where they weren't led as well as I thought they could have been, and you know, they may have gone fine, but if there was an emergency, you know, someone else ended up jumping in or something like that.
Right.
Where I've been to that and seen that, and knowing who's on the trail leader list and leading these trails, it's more than just someone that can show you the route. It's more than someone that just you know, takes you and shows you a good time and dumps you back. It's people that when there's an emergency, they're leaders. I mean, you know, I would say you couldn't wheel with a better group of experienced leader type people that you've handpicked for this event. So I think it's going to be really cool. I think everybody that's going, especially new people that, you know, that this may be their first experience really wheeling, I think they're going to have a blast.
And I agree. And, you know, it's one of those things. This is the first time since my first year there that I'm only leading one trail. You know, that's different. My job, my focus, everything is about making sure if anything happens, it's taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's broke down on the trail, they're not getting left there. I will be there. We will find parts. We will do whatever we got to do. It's just things will be different. Right.
Yeah.
They will be different.
So I won't.
That's the bigger thing to me.
So I won't go out there and be riding around on a trail, and then all of a sudden you see the group of organizers just hanging out, huh?
Yeah.
Well, man, we do what?
Next.
Yeah, no kidding. But every time I go out there, man, it is a great time, and it was started. You know, I know Moab was started as just kind of a small thing, and it's grown into something crazy. You know, we're with Nissan, so it's like, yeah, we're not Toyota, we're not TRD or whatever, man. But you know, I think Moab set the standard for what events can be, and I've been to other events, you know, other brands, Jeep especially, when they just, you know, it's a bunch of bros out there, and Moab, from the time I researched it into the time I got there, man, it was the bar. And you know, I know you guys are just raising the bar this year, man. So we're super happy that you are running the ship, and we hope that the captain stays on the ship this year and not falls off the ship. And so to kind of end things up, Bill, do you and we didn't prep you for this, but do you have any kind of questions for me or Danny, man? Anything from the stupid, ridiculous?
David, I'm sorry I couldn't hear you there for a second.
Going Robo Dave.
Oh no, they can't hear me. I was saying, do you
revenge.
To kind of wrap this thing up, do you anything you want to talk to me and Danny about? Anything stupid? I don't care.
Or, you know what, if you want to give us the plugs on where they, you know, people want to know where to sign up, where to find Moab, etc. Or if there's, you know, maybe throw out a little NORAC plug, you know, for guys out.
Yeah. So just, you know, kind of a quick thing. So NORAC, which is Nissan Off-Road Association of Colorado, NORAC4x4.com. We're probably one of the larger clubs in the country, and it's great. goneMOAB, goneMOAB.com. If anybody is interested in going to Moab, hit me on Facebook, ask questions. I'll tell you anything you want to know. You know, as far as anything else, you know, Danny, I look forward to seeing you out there as always. It's going to be a great time. Yeah, I appreciate, you know, you and Chris and your sponsorship and your support of the event as long as it has been, because it's huge. Yeah, you know, David, unfortunately, you know, you're not going to be there this year, but hey, we all get it, and you know, it's a long trip and all that. The good part about everything is, I think with what we're doing, we're moving the bar up, which is huge. The other, you know, you run a great event, David. We both know that. I mean, Went's huge. You guys have some great things coming up. We have some other really good things coming up with Gone that you and I have both talked about. So again, those things to me are what this is all about for the Nissan community. To me, I don't care if you're driving a Nissan, a Toyota, a Lexus, it doesn't matter. Come to the event, have fun, and enjoy the camaraderie of the people that you get to meet. I would not know a lot of people without this event, and I'm truly thankful for that. I've said that many times. Brooders, you're excluded on that part, but we'll deal with that later. But it's the event that you guys run, David, the event that we're running now. Those are kind of the backbone of the four-wheel drive community, in my opinion, for Nissans. I hope to do many great things with the event we have, and we'll continue to work together and plug each other and, probably give each other a bunch of crap along the way, because that's what we do.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a truck community if you didn't give anybody a bunch of shit.
I'm telling you.
It's kind of if you're not giving, in the truck community, if you're not giving somebody kind of shit, something's wrong,
Oh, exactly. Grooters is. I'm sorry you got all the pinstriping on the truck, because it was a beautiful truck. It just needs a little bit of love. You've got a good chance of getting Cinderella status, dude. I'm telling you. Car Jeep, I'm not sure you make it.
Listen. It's not that I have a good chance. It's that you basically should just engrave my name on it. I just said that I have a lot of work to do, and I'm really sad about it. What I'm telling you is bring the engraver, because. Well, I'll do it myself if I need to when I get there.
All I'm going to say is there's probably a different award than's been there prior to, and it might involve a tiara.
Oh, man.
It's all I'm going to say.
Well, so what are the dates to this thing again before we get out of here, Bill?
May 21st to May 26th.
And of course, this is dropping on a Monday. So that'll be this coming
Correct.
Monday, which I don't know dates. Anyways, so how many more days they got to register for the event?
94.
Okay. So they can they register to the day of the event?
They can register to the day of the event, but obviously, as if they do that, we may or may not be able to get them the exact T-shirt that they want or desire in size.
Right.
Obviously, the earlier the better. We actually have filled up 6 or 7 trails at this point, which is also unheard of. It's never happened before. And still lots of great trails left. Like Danny said, we're running more trails than have ever been run.
I'm excited to see some of these new trails. Yeah.
Yeah, that Hidden Canyon Overlook is going to be a blast, dude.
Yeah, cool.
That one's going to be fun. So.
Well, good, man. Well, we greatly appreciate you being on the show tonight, man. We're happy that we can do some good for your club there, and of course Moab. We're going to talk Moab every year, man. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And heartbroken that I'm not going to be there this year to do the full show, but I'm sure Danny can get us a couple cool interviews while he's over there. If we can catch him.
We'll do something. We'll figure something out. I still want to do a show, so we may have to work some tech out, but I'd like to do a show one night, even if it's just a core group of dudes hopping together and doing some
be good.
Some retelling of trail stories,
Well, anyways.
Oh God, and with the crew it's going to be there. There's going to be some good ones.
Yeah.
Right. Well, of course, you weren't there last year, man. The first year I don't think you made the show the first year we did, where it was just more small and intimate. But last year, man, poor Danny, we emceed the raffle that night, and you were already burnt from 2 days.
Yeah, that was. I was exhausted by the time it was the show time, and I was half awake the whole time. The whole condo was filled like shoulder to shoulder with people. It was so loud in there.
It's like we ordered like 20 pizzas, man, and we look up and it's like, who are these people, man? Some we knew, some we were like, I think these are just people from other condos just coming in now. But we'd definitely get Danny to do something over there, Bill. And like I said, man, my hat's off to you. I know you guys have worked hard. I know what this takes to do these things, and I feel like over the past couple of years, when Josh and them had it, they were my benchmark. I feel like with my thing that we surpassed what it did, but I think now you guys are the new benchmark, man. So
thank you. I talk to Josh and Kevin on a regular basis. You see the banter between myself and Mr. Paul Mary on a regular basis on Facebook, which is all good and it's great fun. And again, thank you. We've worked our asses off. We really have. I mean, this has been pretty much almost a full-time job for me since I started, but that's okay because that's what it needed. Right. Just needed some love and help. That's it.
Sure. And the caretakers in the previous, they did what they could, man, but now it's with a solid team. So that's the guys. That is in May, man. Go to, what is it, goneMOAB.com to check you out.
Sir.
goneMOAB on Facebook. Sir. Bill, I see him answer the questions all the time, man. So if you got any kind of questions, do not feel like this is something that you cannot go out and do. I mean, I know they require a 4-wheel drive, but after that, there's things for everybody out there.
Yes, there is. And every level, from mild to wild, as Mr. Gruters put it. We like, bring it stock, bring it beefy, bring it whatever. We got it.
And even if go sign up, go to the events, the meet and greet. If you're a little nervous about taking your new Frontier or whatever Armada you've got out there, go meet the people, man. And maybe not this year is going to be your time, but maybe next year after meeting the people, it's going to be your time to kind of shine and have some fun and see what it requires, because like I said, there's fire trails out there, there's service roads, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, and it's Moab. Even if it wasn't called goneMOAB, it's freaking Moab, man. So go check their website out, show them some love, tell them Dave and Danny sent you that way, and maybe we'll get a free T-shirt out of it or something.
There you go.
Well, Bill,
I think we can arrange that.
well, Bill, Sir Princess, whatever we're gonna call you.
I like that. I like Sir Princess. That's fantastic. From now on, Sir Princess. That's done. Like that is done. That's in the bank right now.
All right, we'll get Luke to make some hashtag stickers of that one. But man, we greatly appreciate you being on the show tonight, man. And anything we can do to help spread the word, man, just let us know. And we were there. So, Danny,
appreciate it.
Bill's talked us out, dude. I don't really have much more to say than.
I got nothing. It's rare, but I got nothing. Usually Bill makes me tired.
I don't even.
If there's one dude that'll out talk me, it's this guy.
All I know is this show started talking about 6 inches, and then I just heard Bill makes me tired, man. So I don't know where this show's ended up tonight.
And on that note, folks.
All right, from everybody here at the Nissan Nation podcast, man, my name is David Boyd, and that is Danny and Bill. And what are we, Danny?
Bro.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all.